If you feel stuck in a job that doesn't inspire you, wondering if there's more out there for you but just not sure how to get started, if you've dreamed of freelancing and working for yourself but feel overwhelmed by the idea of trying to find clients and actually make enough money to pay your bills, if you feel like you need dozens of clients to make it work and are scared that starting small won't be enough to make a real change, you are not alone. I used to think that to make freelancing work, I needed a huge amount of clients, a polished portfolio, and all of the experience right out of the gate. But the reality is, I got my first 2 clients and that was more than enough to start my full-time freelance journey. Because what I didn't realize until later was that those first 2 clients were the catalyst for all the freedom and control I had been craving all along. Freelancing does not require a massive client base to be life-changing. Sometimes all it takes is starting with just a few clients, focusing on the relationships, the service, and your passion for it, and watching it build from there. So if you've ever felt like you need to have everything figured out before you get started, or that 2 clients just wouldn't be enough, then this video is for you. Hi, I'm Paige, and 4 years ago, I decided to let go of society's expectations for me and quit my corporate 9-to-5 job to follow a path that truly felt like mine. If you've ever felt like the traditional way of doing things doesn't quite fit you, then you're in the right place. In this video, I'm gonna be sharing how freelancing with just 2 clients changed absolutely everything for me. Specifically, how I went to full-time freelancing from starting with just 2 clients, what I learned from the process of starting small, the real impact that freelancing had on my time, freedom, and finances, and why you really don't need dozens of clients to succeed. So we're gonna start by taking it all the way back 4 years ago when I first quit my 9-to-5 corporate job. How I actually got my first 2 clients. It all started with a phone call to someone that I had had in my life for a very long time, but I had not touched base with in many, many years. It was actually the person that I used to nanny for when I was in high school, and she called me just to check in because we hadn't talked in quite a while, and I shared with her that I had literally just quit my corporate job and I was gonna try making my own business or freelancing or figuring out other ways to make money. It was honestly perfect timing because when I started talking with her, I remembered that she had her own business when I used to nanny for her, and she has always taken the non-traditional path. And since I had no one in my family that has done a similar thing, at least no one in my immediate family that I could reach out to and ask for support or advice, I took it upon myself to really go all in on asking her if she would really mentor me and talk to me more frequently and help me with this transition. And 2 things happened from this conversation that absolutely changed the entire trajectory of my freelance business. Number 1, I found out that she herself was going down a new path and starting a new business, and she actually needed some support. She'd known me for so long and knew that I always was someone who was very organized. I had my background in engineering, and although what she wanted help with was not something I necessarily had experience in, she decided to take a chance and have me help her out. I offered to do this completely for free starting out if she would be willing to continue to mentor me and talk to me and refer me any clients that she came across in her daily life. So this is how things started out. I was working for her for free, and very quickly she had a friend of hers that has her own coaching business that was looking for some support with her social media, her marketing, her emails, her website, and wanted some help from me. So I spoke with her and offered to do this for her at $20 an hour, and she accepted. At this point, again, I had no portfolio, no experience. I was literally just saying, hey, I'm really good at figuring things out. I would love to talk with you and help you, and I only charge $20 an hour. And she said, sure, let's do it. Thus started my first official paid client in my freelancing business. Soon after that, my friend slash mentor was really starting to pick up her own business and actually started dating someone who was doing the business with her. So together, they decided that they actually wanted to start paying me at $20 an hour to help them out too. So at this point, I officially had 2 freelance clients at $20 an hour. Now, coming from my engineering job where I was making $60,000 to $70,000 a year, this was obviously not a lot of money, but for me, this money was absolutely amazing because it was money that I was making doing something that I was truly passionate about and actually enjoyed. And while I had a lot of self-doubt and worry about about trying to start this freelance business without having a portfolio or experience, I found that starting with my immediate circle, with working initially with someone that I had worked with because I used to nanny for her as a kid, and then being referred directly to one of her close friends, I felt super comfortable and able to be open with the fact that I did not have a ton of experience, but I was willing to go all in helping them as much as I possibly could. This in turn helped them to give me a lot of feedback early on, give me positive feedback, negative feedback, and overall just helped to build my confidence up and my skills and what I was able to do. And by starting small like this, I was really able to put all of my effort and passion into these two clients. I was super excited about doing new things for them. If I had ideas that they were like, I can't quite afford that yet, then I was like, listen, I just want to do it for free. It'll help me build my experience up and I get to help you out in the process. It really just had me in this super uplifting and growth focused mindset instead of this grind focused mindset early on, which I think was really the key part in me building up my freelance business in a way that was overall quite sustainable and focused on really helping my clients instead of just trying to get a paycheck. And obviously you can do the math. If I was making $20 an hour and I only had 2 clients, this was not a sustainable income for me. So I was doing things on the side that didn't take up a lot of energy and bandwidth, like pet sitting at the time, to be able to make enough to help support paying the bills. But how did I get from just 2 clients to being able to actually do this full time? Well, once I had those 2 clients, the biggest driver of my future success was the concept of referrals. After getting that initial referral from my mentor, I quickly realized that referrals were going to be the easiest way to grow my business. So I started telling everybody that I was looking for more clients while I was trying to build out my business. I would tell them what I was hoping to do, and I honestly just let things start to come to me. And honestly, a lot of the initial referrals kept coming from my mentor because by me putting that time in for her for free at the beginning and continuing to invest in her business outside of the budget that she had for me on a, again, free basis, really incentivized her to want to pay it back to me by getting me as many clients as she could. So I then was referred multiple clients over and over, and as my experience grew, I started charging more and more. So what initially started as 2 clients at $20 an hour, over the next year became me charging $40 to then $50, where I'm at now, for my time to work with these clients. And the biggest plus when it comes to referrals, and why I think it's honestly the absolute easiest way to grow your freelance business, is that referrals mean that you already kind of have the client half of the way there when it comes to selling them on working with you. When you're getting a lead that comes in through social media or through Upwork or Fiverr or anywhere else, they don't know you at all. They have no reason to trust you yet. They have no reason to believe that you're going to do a good job besides what you're literally telling them or putting in a portfolio that you need to build. I, again, had no experience. I had no portfolio, which I also have still no portfolio nor website. That's coming though. If you've seen my other series about growing my business in the next 119 days, we are going to be creating a website. But until this point, which it's been almost 4 years, I have not had any of that. So everything that I have been saying to clients has been word of mouth from me and word of mouth from the referral that it came from. So literally all I had to do to get these clients was to tell people I wanted to be referred, that I had more time to spare and was looking for more clients, got on the phone with those referrals as soon as possible, as soon as that connection was made, which also is another super important part, is make sure that connection is made in a group text if possible. Tell the person that's saying, hey, I have a potential client for you, to literally send a group text saying, hey, XYZ, this is Paige. Paige, me, XYZ. I think you guys would really work well together. XYZ is looking for help with her blah, blah, blah. And Paige, I know you're amazing at all of that. So connect. Then all I do is say, hey, XYZ, when would you like to meet? I'd love to support you with your business and talk more about it and see what I can do to help you. What's your schedule like? Schedule a call, we're good to go. So once I get on that call, they are already pre-primed because the person that referred them is someone that knows, likes, and trusts me and knows, likes, and trusts the referral. So together that referral says, oh, well, the mentor likes Paige and that means I'll probably like Paige. So we get on the call. It's already, honestly, it's more than 50% closed. It's very easy to close the deal when it's a direct referral from someone that you know well in person and that the referral knows well in person. So I slowly started scaling my my business after that through this referral process. And not only did I have my direct contacts starting to refer me, I had my clients starting to refer me to other clients. And that was happening not only as projects were ending with current clients where they were like, oh, hey, this was great working together. By the way, let me refer you this person. It was also happening actively while I was working with clients, which brings me to the next way that I built my business to a full-time freelance business, which is to strategically work with clients when you have the ability, of course, that are willing to refer you. There are going to be clients out there while you're building up your business that want you all to themselves. They are not going to want to give you to their friends because they want you to work for them as much as possible. They really are looking for you to be an employee, and you need to watch out for those clients because they will try to monopolize all of your time and make you feel like you need to be available 24/7, which is not good for your business. So prioritize the people that view you as a business owner, that see you as someone that has multiple clients, and always set that precedent when going into initial calls with potential clients. Say that you have multiple clients, say that you work on projects long-term, but also some clients you work with, continuously. Share that information with them, make it flexible, and just make them aware that you have other clients and that you're open to working with more clients, and you always make sure that you only take on the amount of clients that you're able to. And then once you're working together over time and you get to know them, you can say, hey, by the way, if you know anyone who's looking for more work, I just had one of my clients' projects finish up and I have some more bandwidth, so feel free to refer me if you have time. I found that the client-to-client referral is super key and extremely helpful in growing your business in those early years because it really helps you to fill the gap as projects end by telling your current clients that you have more bandwidth. And sometimes those current clients literally say, hey, actually, I have another project for you. Can you jump on this one too now that you have more time? So it's always good to share that you have more availability anytime a project ends with a current client. But the biggest reality and thing that I want to share for you is that you do not need a dozen clients to actually have success in your business. The key is not how many clients you work with, but what clients you work with and at what price you're working with them. When I first started, again, I was charging $20 an hour. I obviously had to take on more clients, which meant more of my time to be able to make enough money. But as I got more experience and I raised my rates, I've been able to selectively bring my pool of clients to a smaller amount and also look at my client work as initial big pushes and big projects that then turn into small trickles of work throughout the months. I find this process to work super well because you get to really strategize in terms of your timeline to make sure that you don't have too much on your plate at once, while also making sure that you have a consistent connection with quite a few clients at one time, but it doesn't need to be a dozen. I'm usually working with about 3 clients on a larger scale basis on very big projects, and at the same time working with anywhere from 3 to 6 other clients that are very small amounts of work, like maybe a couple hours a week here and there if they need it. But the reality is that it's those big clients, those first 3 big project clients that are really going to pay your bills at the end of the day. I don't need those 3 to 6 other, couple $100 a month clients. Yeah, it helps and it's nice to kind of have them connected to me so that I can reach back out if I'm looking for more work to see if they need more support. But at the end of the day, it's really my main projects that are the ones sending me $1,500 a month for large projects. So focus on the big projects, focus on a few small clients, build those relationships, build your network, and go from there. And since doing this, my life has been so much better. It's something I've been sharing obviously over the past 4 years here on YouTube of really how insane my life has changed since quitting my 9-to-5 job. Because even though my day-to-day is honestly pretty similar to what it used to be, the freedom and the flexibility and autonomy I have over my life is so life-changing and something you honestly can't put a price tag on. I would not change it for anything, and I am so lucky and blessed that now my husband was able to quit his job to join my business and try to make it work with me together. So if you've not seen my last video where I talked about our next 119 days and how we're actually trying to turn my freelance business into a full-fledged business in those next couple of months so that my husband and me together can make a joint sustainable income that can pay all of our bills while we both get to work remotely for ourselves and on our own schedule. So make sure to follow along if you want to see how that process goes and watch how things change for us and whether we succeed in our goal or not. Or if you just want to stick around to hear any future advice I have about freelancing, getting started freelancing, being able to eventually quit your job, and sharing my journey of turning freelancing into a larger business. If that is your goal, then make sure to subscribe for more and comment down below and introduce yourself if you're new here. I would love to hear about what you're doing, what you hope to be doing, and all of the details of your life. So leave those in the comments. But if you are not new around here, then I want to know in the comments down below what you are currently doing for work. If it is freelancing, what you're doing, and if you've been able to get 1, 2, or 10 clients, what has been the thing that has worked best for you? Again, referrals is what has worked best for me, but I want to hear from you guys as well. What is working for you? What is not working? And again, we can always, like usual, collaborate in the comments about what works and doesn't. But that's all I have for you guys in today's video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.